Hey, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a little bit of my current skateboard setup with all y'all. I've been skating for over 20 years, believe it or not, so I'm a long-time skateboarder. My early days in skateboarding, I believe I actually started getting on a skateboard when I was probably 9 or 10 years old. Literally saw one of those fish boards under my grandfather's basement stairs, took it out, dusted it off, and just started swimming on the floor. So I did want to share with you guys a little bit of like my current setup today. Obviously, being a skater for so long, I'm very specific about the products that I use, just like anybody who's sponsored would be. All right, so longtime skateboarder. I grew up on Baker 3. I grew up on Baker, so this is actually a Baker skateboard I'm going to be showing you guys. I'm going to talk a little bit about the specs from literally everything that I have built out over here. So I never really buy completes. I don't really believe in like buying a complete. I mean, if you are starting out, hey, maybe that might be a good route, but I've always thought about like building a skateboard is one of the most fun things about skateboarding. And for me, I want to emphasize that if you're like picking up a skateboard for the first time, it's exciting to put together your first skateboard instead of just buying one off the shelf. Okay, we never recommend. I mean, if you are going to be buying a skateboard, we recommend going to an actual skate shop because they know what they're doing over there. Okay, so that's what I wanted to mention first. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my current skateboard setup. So this is we are riding an 8.38 Baker setup. This is a T-Funk Pro model. Okay, T-Funk is longtime professional, longtime pro on Baker skateboards. This is one of his boards that came out, I believe, like last season. So we do happen to have a couple stickers over here, which I'll go through, and then I do want to talk about the hardware, the bearings, the wheels that I'm using, and then the trucks. Obviously, as some people are very specific. So for this specific skateboard, again, it's an 8.38. That's typically, I grew up riding anything from an a 7.75. So looking back, like, just think about how big that is. Really such a smaller width, just smaller width in general, and that's what we grew up on. And then I remember my buddies started skating size 8s, and I was just like, wow, that's such a big jump. But think about it, at the time, that was just the norm. These days, I'll skate anything from a 8.25, but in most cases, if I had a choice, it would be an 8.38. That's just kind of like my standard. That's kind of like if I had a choice, that's the route I go. Okay, so Baker just has a long-term stamp in the skateboard community. Anybody who's anybody knows Baker skateboards, all right? You know, pretty much ran by the head honcho, Andrew Reynolds, who is just he's the boss. He's the boss. He's literally the real deal. I actually got to meet him, I think, about 2 years ago in San Francisco. Solid person, solid individual, and just a legend, absolute legend. So anyway, let me get to the skateboard. Okay, so typically when it comes to building out a skateboard and choosing all the pieces and all this stuff, again, I'm a long-time skater, so we're big supporters of the 9 Club. So I did end up picking up some 9 Club grip tape. So I try to keep it as plain as possible on the top of the skateboard. If we aren't rocking something with a logo, in most cases, I just go Jessup. If I had to choose between other brands such as Mob or Pepper, I don't know. I just always end up going back to Jessup. It's just Jessup has a certain type of feeling in the grip where it's just, it almost feels like I'm skating on a little bit of a marshmallow to some extent. It's not too grippy, but then it's also not too grippy. You know, it's kind of has this really good middle ground specifically. So I typically recommend Jessup. I mean, Jessup in most cases comes free with certain purchases. Sometimes it will cost you probably an additional like $3 to $6, depending where you're getting at, but can't go wrong. But yes, we are rocking the 9 Club. We do support those guys. I think they do an amazing job with their podcast, their show on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the 9 Club, I don't know what you're doing. Check them out. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. And then when it comes to the bolts, okay, the bolts are very specific. I typically have been riding 2 silver on the top and then everything else just is blacked out. Black on the back. And the reason why I do this is because I want to know where the hell my nose is at all times, okay? I think it's very important for me because the skateboard typically has most skateboards, again, you have to check the specs, have smaller tails. I want to make sure I know where that nose is, especially when I'm about to do a nose slide or a nose grind or something along the lines, right? So typically 2 silver. I know sometimes people just put 1, but for me, I've kind of just kept it this way for the longest time. This is just how I've been doing it. So 2 silver so that when I'm skating, I can see them. I know exactly where they're at. That's typically the color that I do. And these are the Shorties Silverados. And they're pretty light and they're very durable. They last really a long time, especially when you're jumping down sets of stairs or grinding down rails and what have you. So solid. We don't mess around when it comes to hardware. We want to make sure those trucks are going to be bolted on real good, and we make sure they're real good and nice and tight. Okay. Now moving along to the board itself, obviously I'll go through the stickers and all that other stuff that I have, but let's move on to the truck, since that's pretty much what's connected to the board. Now we are using Thunder over here, as you see. So Thunder, these are Thunder lights. These are titanium lights, actually. So we do not have like a hole in the axle, but we do happen to have a hole right over here. So it does add to the lightness of the skateboard versus Kingpins that do happen to have that all filled out, okay? So sometimes I'll go the light route where it does have a hole here, but I don't know, as of recently, I typically go with something solid there. The trucks just tend to last really a longer time. And then I know there's a big debate. It's like, hey, do we go independent? Do we go Thunder? I've been riding Thunder for probably the past like 10 years, and I just love Thunder. Like Thunder, like just the sound it makes when it grinds, just like the name itself, like just Thunder trucks. It's just like the turning radius on this. They've never really failed me. Then again, neither has Independent. I have given Independent a good shot, a good solid shot, but to me, the weight on these trucks specifically, whether they're titanium or not, obviously if you go non-titanium, they'll be a little lighter. But for me, I've always just gone Thunder, and they've never really failed me. I've always been a happy customer. This is why we keep going back to Thunder. Thunder also has such an amazing array of different types of like models and different editions and stuff like that. Feel free to check their website out, but most skate shops should have Thunders. Can't go wrong with Thunders. Now moving along, bearings, very important, okay? We don't mess around when it comes to bearings. We want something that's gonna last a really long time. So for me, I have been a long time customer of Bones bearings. It's just non-negotiable. I've tried other bearings, I really have, but we just go back to Bones. That's it. It's just like, we don't mess around when it comes to bearings. We wanna make sure that we're not gonna skimp out on bearings. We wanna make sure that the bearings that we get on our wheels are kind of somewhere in that middle range, okay? Now, I understand bearings can get pretty expensive. There's some that range anywhere from like $100 to $200. Now, depending on where you're at with skating, I'm gonna be honest, you don't need the best of the best. You can go with Bones Reds. They're already a phenomenal bearing. However, we typically bump it up a notch. We go with that Swiss. So we kind of pay for like or anywhere from, I would say $50 to $70 is kind of like the range of what I would be spending on a bearing. We want to make sure that they're going to last a long time, but again, it's in your power to maintain them. So it's important that you maintain them and just not leave them in a rut, you know? And I'm saying like skate them occasionally, make sure that you're on top of actually cleaning them from time to time. I'm saying cleaning them anywhere from like 1 to 2. Oh, I'm saying anywhere from like within a 3-month time frame, at least clean them like 1 time, you know? I'm just going to be real. As you skate, you're going to acquire a lot of dirt in those bearings. So I think it's important to maintain them. You treat your bearings well, they're going to treat you well. That's basically how it goes, similar to your skateboard, okay? And then when it comes to bushings, I did want to touch on that a little bit. We go Bones over here. So we go with the yellow one that's kind of like, kind of that middle range. We just feel like that middle, I wish I had the box with me so I could show you, but yeah, typically we go with that yellow. Yellow is the move over there for us. There are black ones and there are blue ones as well. I think the blue one is the soft one, and then the black one is the harder one. So this is kind of right in the middle. And what I've come to learn is this is just a good middle ground when it comes to the bearings itself. Again, I'm just letting you guys know, like, longtime skater over here, so I generally believe I know my stuff. I've watched a ton of videos as well along the way. So I did want to just let you guys know, when it comes to putting together a skateboard, it's very important. Stickers are optional, obviously. However, I pride myself of any sticker setup that I put on a skateboard. It's literally, it's a ritual. It is a ritual, putting this all together, making sure that there's still bubbles in the grip tape, all that. It's very important to me. And then lastly, I did want to touch on the wheels as well. Big fans of Bones, okay? Bones STF, you cannot go wrong, okay? Bones STF or Spitfire. However, we typically lean on Bones. There's just something about that STF formula. They just nailed it. It is one of my all-time favorites. These wheels last forever, like forever. And you can literally just, you could use these like for a solid amount of time, okay? Now, I don't skate every single day, but these wheels, I've had them for a long time and they really do last. They don't shrink quickly. STF formula, you cannot go wrong. They roll, and they're great. They're really great. They're really great for skate parks. They're really great for just skating the city. Absolutely love that. And then you guys know, I just wrote that because I'm a skater at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I did want to touch a little bit on the stickers. Thrasher sticker, kind of non-negotiable. It's kind of mandatory to at least just add one Thrasher sticker because, you know, because they got to know, all right? This one's just a, you know, a little slap that we put over there. And then we do happen to have our Camacho. Yeah, add a little bit of Camacho over there. He's already getting a little scruffy over there. And then there you go. When it comes to putting on a sticker for a skate shop, I rep a lot of skate shops. Like, I'm a big fan of, like, I just love mom and pop shops. I also love just skate shops in general. We want to support them. So when I was in Hollywood, I did end up picking up some SBs, and we did stop by pharmacy. So gotta rep. So we did add that pharmacy board shop over here, and then just a little touch on a Baker sticker. You know, just one Baker sticker over there, and there you have it. You know, and then the last thing I wanted to touch on is, us skaters are pretty particular about the top ply. Now, the top ply is going to be the outline outside the grip tape that you're going to see when you're skating. It's very important, okay? Now, it may not be that important to some people, but if you're a longtime skater, it's pretty damn important, okay? Now, I know there's some bad juju around having a red top ply. We don't really rock with the red. You know, we just don't. We're just not a fan of red tops. Apparently, there is, I guess, some stigma in the community about if you have a red top, it's like, you know, you might not land your trick, you might break your leg or whatever it is. I don't know. I've just heard these stories. I don't believe them, but then again, we don't really rock with red tops. So this one, I believe, is a green top. If I had to choose a color for tops, I typically go yellow, orange, or blue. That's typically what I go. Sometimes green. You know, sometimes you can't be choosy. You just order a skateboard on a site and you get the box, and it just is what it is. You know, we just really hope you don't get a damn red top, okay? But yellow's pretty much the way to go for me personally. It's just easy to see that outline of the grip tape. It just is, okay? Anyway, that's the last thing I wanted to touch on. But yeah, this is my skateboard setup. Again, let it be known in the comments on, you know, maybe your board of choice, products of choice. I'd love to know what you guys rock on a regular basis. But this is us. This is us, long time skateboarders over here. And yeah, if you like the content, smash that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. We're not going anywhere. We love skateboarding. We love skateboarding, and we love shoes, sneakers, all that stuff. We're a big part of this the culture. You know, we're a big part of the culture. We care a lot about this community. So yeah, anything from streetwear, skateboarding, you guys know it. We're the real deal over here. We appreciate you guys stopping by, and yeah, let it be known if you like this content. And yeah, I will talk to you all real soon. All right, peace. Laters.